031 Civilian Interrogation Unit. We used to move, see, as our troops went forward. We followed behind, didn't we? Picking up the displaced persons, many of whom had no home to go to, in any case. And some of them, poor buggers, especially in France, because they cooperated with the Germans when the Germans are there, they had their bloody heads shaved. Even the women. And of course a lot of them had to. It's either that or one in the head, like they shoot up. See? They had to collaborate with them. See? That's how it was. And we had them for questioning to probably help, well, I don't know, intelligence, wasn't it? See? But they were a different corps. We were doing the guards, we were the odd bods doing the guard duty, walking on this bloody compound with empty rifle, like, and 5 rounds in your pocket. But the intelligence officers were NCOs and officers who could speak the various languages, see. But when we used to move, this is what I wanted to tell you, the prisoners would go, oh, you and McClanagan go on that lorry there, on the back, see, with the prisoners. And we had our rifles, and to get on the lorry, we'd hand our rifles up to them. They were prisoners, see. What are they bloody doing now? That they could go, that's how we were, see. Odd bods in the odd bod. What are they bloody doing now? For us to get on the prisoners and all were laughing, we called them prisoners, they were laughing as well, see, because they had the rifles while we were clambering up in the lorry. Oh, dear God, on top. Well, this particular morning, it was a lovely morning, the end of the war was, I think it was May or June, or May, I think it was. If I remember right, May. I was walking out now, I was in shirt sleeve order, see? Shirts and a webbing belt. No guppies. I was comfortable. And of course I had this bloody Scotch hat on because I was in the Scottish Regiment when I went with first. The bobble in the middle. And we all cut them because they sang, because these bloody hats used to hang down over your ears, see? Then I was walking around the compound and I was passing out our hats. And a couple of them come out and say, hey, what do you think? Himmler walked into our camp this morning in disguise with a couple of others. And I was looking at them and I thought they were having me on, see? So I went and I didn't go far. And further down, there was a bloke leaning against the compound, probably talking to the ones inside. And our CO was there, Captain Sylvester. Tall, thin bloke, Scotch. And the next thing I knew was, there was this Captain Sylvester now about 20 yards ahead of me, or a bit more. I said, Trew, because he was Scotch, see, Trew, not Trew, Trew, come and stand by you. And I see this bloke now leaning against the compound, as we call it, like the tennis court, call it what you like, compound we call it. And it was him, that's it. And I thought, oh, I gotta bloody treat him now. And I did him now. So I ignored him. See? I walked past him and he was over there by that tree, say. I walked past him and never looked at him really. So, and I stood about 15 yards from him, by there. And the next thing I knew, Captain Sylvester said to me, Trew, get me some paper. Trew, get me some paper. And I know what paper was he talking about? I didn't twig, see. One of those huts was a toilet, see. So I went to the office, now, and I said to the bloke on the office doorway, he wants some paper. And he gave me a toilet roll. So that was me off the hook, wasn't it? So I gave it to him, to Captain Sylvester. And then I went back to where I was stood before. I made up my mind, as I go down, how am I going to treat this bugger now? I can't shoot him. You know. That's what you felt like doing, see? But he was there leaning against the thing and talking out to some of the inmates. One or two that he knew. See, because we had all kinds with us, mate. Some notorious ones, no doubt. Because out of our hut, 15 yards up that way or more, 20 yards up, our gang come out and they stood in a half circle. The other side, I was about 15 yards from him by here. This is just before he went in the toilet, must see. They come out and they were all grinning at me. See? I was standing there and grinning back. I never took any notice of him, see. Well, as far as I know, I think he went to the toilet with CO. And that's the last I saw of him. I thought to myself, there's no bloody point in me staying here now. There's all this bloody gang there, all grinning at me. And I noticed when I was coming down towards him, there was a group of about 3 or 4 blokes about 10 yards away on my right, up against a fence or something like that. And they were in British battle dress, but no caps on. And they all had blue eyes. They looked like bloody brothers. You know, there was about 4 of them, 3 or 4 of them. 4 of them, I think it was. I counted them. I thought, who the hell are they? They must have come in with him. See? They must have come in with Himmler. No, he wouldn't come on his own, I don't suppose. No, he wasn't. He was on the side of us. He was over there, leaning against the bloody compound wire. Well, I call it a compound, but it is probably, I think it was, a tennis court. See?
Was he in Germany or he was in
No, civvies he was. See? Cute as hell he was, no doubt, see. And they took, and of course, and the story was that he wouldn't go into our uniform. No doubt he had this file, see, he had to hide it. He was going to keep it till, and he could, but of course he wasn't having any joy, see, because he come seeking terms. One of them came to Scotland to seek terms, didn't they? Flew over during the war. Well, he come now at the end of the war now, a bloody fool. As if, and the same man who had got the files, Himmler, had given one to Hitler to commit suicide. And yet he had one. But he was hanging on till the bitter end, wasn't he? He knew the game was up when they started searching him, see? They more or less treated him with contempt, didn't they? You know, nobody special. In the bloody jeep and off to our HQ. They started to search him there. And when he started to go up towards his face, he did it probably in a gap in his teeth or something. Dead. That was the end of him. And I heard that they'd bury him on Luneburg Heath somewhere. They were, bugger, well, God help us if they had a bloody... The best thing that ever happened to us was when the Russians came in with us and came from their side eventually after Leningrad, after they slaughtered thousands in Leningrad. We came that way, the Russians came that way, and the Americans were with us, and they had tanks. Patton, wasn't it? General Patton. He was a hell of a man, he was. Hell of a man, he was a general, American general. He was in charge of the tanks, I think. And they went up ahead so far and so quick that they were without fuel. That, you know, and a lot of them were coloured men, see? Black men. And don't forget, there was a racial thing there, even during the war then, wasn't there? In America. But they were the boys. I'd have left home with one in a lorry coming on from one of my sites. Himmler. And he was notorious, as you know. He was a horrible swine all at the Holocaust, see? Terrible. Terrible man he was. He was he was the one who thought they were all superior to everybody else. Wasn't he? I think he must have been a head kiss.